Hi everyone, it's Janis here. Far too many people think that the only reason they haven't started their own business is because they don't have money. And that is why they never start their business, because they're thinking wrong. It's not the money that's in their way, but it's lack of willingness to take action. With social media available almost to everyone and technology advancing with a pace that we could just dream about, there is no limitations of starting a business. The fact that people mention money as a reason for not starting a business is just an excuse not to do anything. It is easy to say, I don't have any money. If you really want to start a business, then you can start with absolutely nothing, just with a bare hands and willingness to take action. Today, we'll take a look at the book The Power of Broke by Daymond John. This book will show you how having no money can be your greatest asset, so let's dive in. Being broke can lead to creativity. What do you do when you know that you can't make something happen? In reality, you have two options: to give up or to come up with a creative solutions. Imagine that you're getting ready for the work and you usually catch the bus. This morning, however, you left few minutes later and you missed the bus. You know that the next bus is coming in an hour and you'll be late for your work, but you can't be late as you have to give an important presentation. Walking is also not an option as you'll be still late. Then you decide to ask your neighbor for a favor to give you a lift so you can get to the work on time. Probably not something that you would do quite often, but when you are in a position when you have to do something important, it is a great solution. The same thing applies to new businesses that want to be creative and survive in an environment with the big and established corporations. They have to think creatively about how to design their products and, most importantly, how to market them in a creative way without just throwing money at advertising. It's not about who will have the biggest advertising budget, but about how effectively resources are used and targeted. You can have most money, but if you don't use resources in the right way, then you will still lose. This is where Power of Broke comes into play. When you have very little budget to spend, you'll be thoughtful about where those resources will go so that you can have the best return on them. Being broke will keep you hungry. Many people complain about lack of motivation, but not those who are hungry to succeed. Almost everyone is good at providing for themselves and their families. Roof above the head, clothes on the back, and food on the table are first necessities. Then, people usually like to have some little additional things like car, TV, devices, but soon after that, they settle and stop growing. The problem is that these people get comfortable. When you're starting your business, you can't be comfortable. Being broke will keep you away from this trap of being comfortable. Instead, you'll be scraping for your survival, and that will be your unlimited motivation to keep moving forward. Being broke surfaces authenticity. When you don't have money, you can't make things look fancy, but you can make things look real, and people love authenticity. How many times you've noticed online when some people pretend to be somebody who they're not? People hate that, and that is not the right way to build a relationship. So you can use Power of Broke to be more authentic. You don't need the latest Panasonic camera to shoot videos for YouTube. You can just use your phone if you really want to make a content. If your content is valuable, your audience will appreciate it and give you even more respect for the fact that you're crushing it without fancy resources. Don't let funding to steer you away from your vision. Like we spoke at the beginning of this video, a lot of people complain about money as a reason for not to start a business. But I want to point out a very important thing that you have to consider when you get funding for your business. Let's say you want to build an app and you need $10,000 to develop initial prototype. I say, okay, I'll give you $7,000, but I want 50% of the business. We have a deal, an app gets developed and it turns out to be a success. It brings in $20,000 every month, from which 50% you have to give to me. But that is not the only problem. I decide that app should be further developed in a direction that is not in line with your vision. I have 50% of the business and I have all the right to do that. Was it really worth to trade 50% of your business for $7,000? You could just start slowly and save up money and develop it by yourself to have all the profits and control in your hands. 4 stages of success. Coca-Cola has been around for ages, so you can be forgiven for thinking that it's always been a success. But like any other global brand, it had to start somewhere. It is possible to pinpoint 4 different stages that you need to go through patiently before your brand can go global. Number 1 is the item. This is a product in its simplest form, without name or logo. This can be any product that satisfies a need, like a pen for example. Number 2 is label. This is where you give your product a name, so customers can become familiar with it, and if they like it, then the next time they walk in a store, they can ask directly for your product. Number 3 is brand. At this stage, your product has a logo and people can identify your product with a specific style. Number 4 is lifestyle. At this stage, your brand has grown to the point where customers expect a certain level of quality and experience from your brand. This is a stage at which products can become status symbols, as it is with brands like Nike, Apple, and Starbucks, etc. By leveraging power of broke, businesses have higher chances of making it in today's competitive marketplace. There is no better time to start a business like right now. You can wait for a better time, but it will never come. You can wait a month, a quarter, a year, or even 10. But the fact is, if you have a reason why not to start a business today, then you will have a reason 10 years from now. If you want to start your own business that will give you freedom and flexibility that you desire, then you have to do it right now. Do you have an idea for an app that you want to develop? Don't wait another day. You don't have to start to code or get an investor today. You can start with writing a documentation about how the application will function and what features it will have. There will be never a better time than it is today. If you want to manage your time better, have more structure in your life, and achieve your goals, make sure you check out my time planning application. You can set goals and track progress towards them, create time blocks and build your own daily structure, as well as log your time and measure your performance. Best of all, it's totally free, so press here to check it out right now. I'm working on new videos every day, so be sure you subscribe so you don't miss my next episode.